Hello, good evening, friends, and welcome to the Mind Gym. And why we are live every day is to basically, take the journey together in improving our critical thinking ability. So this, live stream consists of bunch of questions, and if you answer them correctly, your critical thinking will improve over time. So let me explain the rules of the game. The question will display, and then you will be given 60 seconds to think about the answer and also respond. Why 60 seconds? Because 30 seconds you can actually think the answer, but then 30 seconds for you to type it and for the answer to reach us. So essentially, even 60 seconds is a short time. However, if you know the answer, it is sufficient for you. So without further ado, let us start our quiz, and let us take the journey towards improving our critical thinking ability. So therefore, the first question is, in the year 1541, who finishes painting of the Last Judgment in a chapel in Vatican City? And the time starts now. Well, as the answer, was sort of hidden in the question itself, and the whole objective is to basically think fast. So let us find out the answer. It is the Michelangelo. Michelangelo was a person who actually finished very popular painting, The Last Judgment. And today, let's see if there are any responses we have received. So nobody has been able to crack this one. So let's proceed further to the next question. In the year 1756, how Casanova escaped from the Leeds prison in Venice? So Casanova is a very colorful character from our history. He was imprisoned and he escaped. You have to tell how he escaped, and the time starts now. So back in the day, even the popular characters like Casanova were imprisoned. You can guess why there was, some sort of punishment given to this very colorful character from our history. Let's find the answer. He simply climbed the roof to escape. So probably the jail officers never thought that there will be a convict who will be able to just, climb the roof and then jump over the wall and then escape. So probably this was one incident which was used to create much more robust prison system in the world. All right, no responses. Let's quickly move to the next question. Who discovered the symptoms behind the color blindness? And the time starts now. We know that the color blindness is because of a medical condition that you are born with. The color blindness is a symptom which needs to be identified, but there is very little you can do to improve the situation until the brain chips comes. So let us find out who identified this symptom, and now we know what is color blindness. It was the physician known as John Dalton. He actually later explained color blindness in his lecture to the Manchester Literary and Philosophical Society, and the name of his lecture was Extraordinary Fact About Visions of Colors. So, until John Dalton came along, nobody knew what is color blindness, and more so, the most important aspect is that the person who was suffering from color blindness will not know what he is seeing and what is that he is missing. So that is very peculiar when it comes to color blindness. Now let's quickly move to the next question. In the year 1913, what is the name of the first US paved coast to coast highway? That means east coast to west coast, a fully tarmacked highway, and the time starts now. Well, the road system is so vital for the growth, and especially when it comes to USA, they were a very large country, but they provided avenue for growth, and therefore roads played a major role in the growth of United States of America. And building such a long road from east coast to west coast would have been such a Herculean task, because USA, in terms of land mass, is three times the size of India, a large country, very, very large country when it comes to traversing on the landscape. Let's find the answer to this question. It is the Lincoln Highway, the first highway from coast to coast, which is paved and tarmac, was known as the Lincoln Highway. All right, let's proceed to the next question. In the year 1941, Mount Rushmore monument was completed in South Dakota. Who designed and who built it? Time starts now. Well, Mount Rushmore, if you are American, you know what is Mount Rushmore. It is the huge mountain carved into showing the heads of prominent presidents from United States, basically prominent leader. And the Mount Rushmore cannot be overlooked because it's so huge. Building it was a private project. It was a brainchild of a single person who wanted to create that monument, huge monument. Let's find the answer to this question. It is Gutson Borglum. That's the name of the person who actually designed it and also constructed it. Although some people say that the funding came indirectly from the government because it was all, obviously the sort of national monument. However, there is no proof for that. Now let's quickly move to the next question. In the year 1943, during the Second World War, which plane accomplished the first successful radar guided interception? First rocket or missile reach the target with the help of radar. And the time starts now. Well, you can imagine that the technology was still evolving during the Second World War. It would have been such a great deal to attain that kind of accuracy by using a radar. You can actually zero in on a target, and that would have been a game changer. We today know that the Allies were working on their radar system. Because of that, they were also able to predict the German attacks and they can prepare themselves. So basically, a early warning sort of thing. But then later it was used to even create offensive projects like this one. And therefore, let's find which plane was retrofitted with this advanced radar system in the year 1943. And the answer is F4U Crosshair. That is the first plane to basically shoot down an enemy target by using the latest radar technology way back in 1943. Now let's move to the next question. In the year 1952, at which location world's first thermonuclear bomb was detonated? And the time starts now. When we talk about thermonuclear reactions or thermonuclear explosions, these are the hydrogen bomb. So we know that the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, but those were fission. That means the atom actually split and energy is released during a splitting of an atom. Whereas in a reverse action, which is called thermonuclear reaction, where the two hydrogen atoms are combined to form helium and enormous amount of energy is released. So where the first thermonuclear experiment was done, let's find this location on the face of the earth, and that is the Marshall Islands in US, where this thermonuclear bomb was first tested. And to do this kind of nuclear reaction, what you need is basically this is sort of a twin explosion. First you need to create an atomic explosion, which is normal fission explosion. The heat produced in the center of this explosion is almost 100 million degrees centigrade, and that temperature is sufficient for seamlessly two hydrogen atoms to combine and to form helium, and thus it will create even more higher energies. And therefore thermonuclear reactions are very, very energetic. These are the energies of star. The similar reaction keeps happening in the core of these large stars like sun and even larger stars. All right, let's quickly move to the next question. In 1970, which legendary singer was sentenced to 6 months in jail and $500 fine for indecent exposure? Very legendary singer, and the time starts now. Well, the only crime committed by this singer was that he unbuttoned his top shirt's button, and that was considered in 1970 indecent exposure. And let me give you the answer of this question. It is Jim Morrison. So Jim Morrison was the singer of the group called Doors. Basically, Jim Morrison was the heart and soul behind the entire group called Doors. Very popular. In fact, Jim Morrison was so popular in the USA that people used to keep his picture next to Jesus Christ in their homes. So he used to basically sing very simple songs but very deep rooted meaning, and therefore people loved it because very difficult thing you can understand by just listening to simple text, and that is why he became very popular. And this is an unfortunate incident which happened with him. Let's move to the next question. In the year 1992, Roman Catholic Church apologized for its treatment of which astronomer after 359 years? A simple question, and the time starts now. Well, this is a very simple question. Even if you apply little logic, you should be able to give the answer to this one. Let's straight away go to the answer, and that is the Galileo Galilei. Uh, just to refresh your memory, Galileo actually built a telescope and saw Jupiter and its four moon, and then he realized that there are other worlds and Earth is not the center, which was the belief of the church at that time, that Earth is the center and sun and everything else rotate around it. So Galileo actually did some smart calculations, found that the Earth is also like any other planet, just like Jupiter, and he actually invited the church and all the important functionary of the church in Vatican to peep through, look into the telescope that he had built. But instead of looking into that, church said that this telescope, it's satanic. It is not right to look into this. And last 7 years of Galileo was spent in jail, although he could have been dead because for doing such things and talking against the God. Usually the crime was burned at the stake. However, Galileo was a very well connected person, and he also apologized for talking like this, and he said that, look, I was wrong. And after taking his science theories back and said these are all rubbish, he was pardoned. He was not given a death penalty, but he was sent to life imprisonment at very early, very old age. And then, therefore, last 7 years he actually spent in a dungeon down below, in underground in some church. So for this kind of treatment, church officially apologized, because now we know that what he was saying is right. But it took church to apologize nearly 400 years. So this happened in the year 1992. Let's quickly go to the next question. In the year 1994, which American tennis star makes her professional debut at the age of 14, winning her first title 6-3, 6-4? And the time starts now. Well, for the tennis lover, this should have been an easy answer, but let's go to the answer before I give you more details. It is the Venus Williams, the uh, two sisters, Serena Williams and Venus Williams. So this was Venus Williams who actually win over former NCAA champion and world number 58 ranked Sean Stafford in the Bank of West Classic in Oakland in California. So this was the first entry into professional tennis field of Venus Williams. Now let's go to the next question quickly. In 2008, who invented cryptocurrency? Time starts now. So who invented cryptocurrency? There is so much of investment today which is riding the crypto, different kind of bitcoins, etc. Who invented? Isn't not a good question to ask? Let's find out. So basically, there was a white paper published in a pseudonym. Uh, the name sounds Japanese, Satoshi Nakamoto, and this was about Bitcoin. White paper explaining how Bitcoin can work, and this is based on the technology which cannot be copied, and it describes as decentralization of peer-to-peer network that could track and verify transactions, which while producing a transparent and verifiable record. So the irony of the situation is that an article was published on a pseudonym, a Japanese sounding pseudonym. So, who invented Bitcoin? Who invented cryptocurrency? Well, this has been around since 1984 as a technology byproduct, but now we have seen that how these, Bitcoin technology is now coming in the forefront. However, it was kind of made available by way of this particular article, which was published way back in 2008 under a pseudonym. Let's move to the next one. In 2012, which hurricane forced the New York Stock Exchange to close business for 2 days? You can't hide from a natural calamity, whether you are even a New York Stock Exchange. They had to shut shop for 2 days. The time starts now. So because of this natural calamity, because it disrupted power supplies, disrupted people reaching the stock exchange had to be shut off, closed for 2 days. And let's find the answer to this question. This happened in 2012. It is the Hurricane Sandy, one of the more powerful hurricane to hit the east coast of United States, and it also forced the New York Stock Exchange to shut shop. Now let's go to the next question. In 2018, world biggest statue, the Statue of Unity, is unveiled. And it is actually a statue of the independence leader Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in Gujarat. What is the height of the statue? The time starts now. Well, this is a nice trivia to know actually. The height of the world tallest building and also the one of the biggest building in the or a statue in the world. So let's find the answer. It is 182 meters, and it is tallest. But I'm thinking that very soon this record may be broken, because even taller statues are coming up in India, and building tall statues are not like building a tall building, because building is very streamlined and a lot of calculation, whereas the statues have all kinds of things protruding outwards. It has to look good aesthetically as well, and the material used. So it's a very difficult task to build a tall, huge statue, and therefore this is the tallest. It has the world record, and therefore and also very high, 182 meters. It's quite high, towering in the sky. All right, let's go to the next one. In 2022, which singer and artist became the first artist in history to claim all top 10 slots on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart? Basically, a artist we love, admire, and also very popular in 2022, and the time starts now. Well, this artist is so popular. In fact, you should know the answer, because recently this artist has yet proved that she is very popular across length and breadth of United States and also globally. Let's find the answer to this question. It is a Taylor Swift. She became the first artist in history to claim all top 10 slots on the US Billboard. And to achieve this feat, her new album, which was known as Midnight, was released, and all 10 songs of that album achieved this, feat. So basically, all her songs became super hit, super duper hit, and therefore all her songs were, among the top 10 on a 100 chart of Billboard. She is the only and the first artist to achieve this feat. Now let's see if we have more questions left. Well, we have run out of the questions today. These are some of the questions which I chose, and you're supposed to respond quickly in order to improve critical thinking ability. All right. Thanks for joining me live today. But do not forget to tune in at 5 p.m. tomorrow, because I will be live again with you and in the Mind Gym, and together we will actually work on our critical thinking ability. Thank you and see you tomorrow.